welcome to Goa 365 Story Behind the Story. Now we have been seeing a lot of on TV for the past couple of months, which have been actually really blown out. Murders, killings of women on, and so much of coverage on TV. Then basically in relationships, people hacking each other to death, and then also lots of women issues are being highlighted today. I don't know if these things were not happening earlier. I think they were, but today they are being highlighted for a lot of reasons. So to discuss this and also to see how society looks at these issues and whether society has actually, at least like you say, has the leopard changed its spots, or we are just doing lip service to all these things because of what comes on TV and because of we got to do the right, say the right thing. To discuss this and a lot of other issues, I have with us a panel who has been in this fight. It's been an uphill task, I know, for many of them to bring up these issues and back women and basically anybody who's been in this type of situations. I'll start by introducing Dr. Sabina Martin from Biology. Ma'am, welcome to our show. Advocate Caroline Colasso. She's not only a lawyer, but she's also somebody who's been fighting on the social field for women, on these various like domestic violence, abuse, all that. Welcome, ma'am. Sangeeta Naik, she's an IT professional, also a social activist. She's been on our show. We've discussed issues like that, the widow shaming, image, and whatever, and the various things. And I think the government has listened to us in many things. Sangeeta ma'am, welcome to our show. And last but not the least, Rashida Muzawar. She is from the Muslim Women's Association. She's also been on our show on various of these, and she's been fighting basically to ensure that the women who are abused, who have these things, are backed. Because today the most important thing is the backing. People need, nobody likes getting abused and hit and beaten up and all that and dominated, but people are scared to come out. Social stigma is there, society stigma is there, finance is there, a lot of the issues. So anyway, ma'am, Sabina ma'am, I would like you to start off and like then we can kick off the whole discussion.
Just before I was coming to the studio, I came from work, and when the TV was put on, the headline was a Mumbai case where a man has hacked his live-in partner, made pieces of her and cooked her to avoid detection. I mean, it was so ghastly, and these are the cases that we see every few days we see that. And you're talking about media. I feel domestic violence cases, they don't come to the media. It's only when it is very gruesome and ghastly that it becomes, it comes to the fore. And what I gathered in that few minutes that I watched was this girl was an orphan. So she got into a relation with him. So it was a live-in relationship, and this couple stayed in that flat, and they were not interacting with the community there in the system. So probably whatever was happening, it was happening behind closed doors. And so she was an orphan. So it is the vulnerability of the woman I see, that, and when whatever violence that is happening within the four walls, when you don't get support, because your immediate neighbors are your support, your family members are your support. So when this communication doesn't take place, the woman doesn't get help, and she is not able to come out from that violent situation. And I feel today what is important is support to women, especially when the neighborhood should keep a watch. If they sense there is something going wrong, that they should intervene in some way or the other to provide support to the woman.
I don't know if that's like that will happen in any time soon, at least in many, and now with people getting into cities and metros, a little tough. Advocate, now what do you feel about this from a legal perspective, all these issues? Because I'm sure you are looking at them on a daily basis, and you're fighting them on a daily basis, and a lot of people come to you literally on a
But
daily
I would
basis.
agree with Sabina to the extent that really, there are many cases that don't come to light, and I would still like to reiterate this fact that even if the number of cases which are there and which people seem to, which is quite a lot, that people seem to think that, oh, we have a law, it's called the Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, and there is this very misconceived notion that, oh, this law is so much in favor of women that women will misuse this act. And I would like to reiterate on time and again that women really do not misuse the law. It is in fact women do not use the law which is so much in their favor, and if at all they do come forward, it is only really because it has reached, they've reached like the zenith, they've reached a point where they feel they really cannot do anything. So the law was so designed to make it so much more easier for women to access the law. So that is one. But however, I feel that laws can only do that much. Like the law is good, it's called a single window act, which was, so they get so many rights under one act. But then it also needs societal backup, which says the woman in cases after cases when they've come to me, I said, why all these years you've taken, so they're even aware of the law, and some of them still not aware of the law. But even then it's like lack of societal backup, lack of parental backup, would still say so soon gaye. Taka sangla, yesterday I had a case, taka sangla, kite mononi, gupchup rao. So still bear up till it became really bad, and then they've come now to the office where, to say I think now we are just gonna take it ahead. We tried our best to keep quiet, we tried our best to face the beatings, but it's just getting repeated and it's getting more and more intense kind of. So, well, the laws, are there, women should use it, but I think the laws also should, the judges etc. should make it a point that they don't drag on for so many years, that the women themselves get so fed up that they feel there's really no point. Like 7 and 8 years and 9 years just to get sometimes a single relief makes the women just sometimes withdraw the case and feel there is no justice. And there are ways where, sometimes the opposite party is also, delayed by filing application after application. So each one plays their roles in the games, and I think courts should see through it and see the purpose behind which the law was enacted, and see basically that the woman who has taken great courage to come before gets at least the basic thing of protection. Other things, okay, you could
so basically that is after things have happened. I think we need intervention while violence is taking place within to stop the violence.
This is happening while,
and this is after you go to the court. I'm saying when somebody is beating. Now if there was this Bell Bajao campaign, if someone was beating in the a woman in the house, the neighbors would come and ring the bell. That was the campaign that was started.
In Goa, I think that's not possible.
In Goa, we have this 1091 number. In fact, before coming for this discussion, I just called up and cross-checked to see if it is working, and I told him that So in this context, in fact, this year during Bailatso Sad's program on 8th of March, former IG Bosco George was there. So what he said was, one of the things which women should do is call this number up. For two reasons. One is your problem gets it reaches the authorities, that is one, and tomorrow for some whatever reasons, for some political pressure or any other pressure kind of, this case gets sidelined or something, you can put an RTI and ask for the recording so that things are on record. So that is one. Another thing, another very interesting thing in this thing, in fact we have been always trying to say, आमकां बायलांचे भितरले वेगवेगळे मे इट बी एक्स्ट्रा मॅरिटल अफेअराचे सोडून जावं बाकीचे ल्हान भुरगे आपल्या भुरग्यांच्या बद्दलचे इश्यूज जावं वेगवेगळे इश्यूजांनी फ्रस्ट्रेशन आसता, इरिटेशन आसता पळय जेनी, ते जर मातशे सुद्दां रिलीव जायत न्ही जाल्यार सुद्दां खूब बायलांच्या लायफान फरक पडू शकता. सो ताका लागून मे बी वाड्यार काउन्सिलिंग सेंटर्स टायपाचे जे, सो इनफॅक्ट गोवा इंडियन गव्हर्मेंट हॅज स्टार्टेड समथिंग कॉल्ड एज टेलिमानस, but it is more for psychological. So you can just dial a number and to मिळू शकता कोणाकडे तरी counsel घेऊन सुद्धा. No, not necessarily. Any kind of mental stress and all. So Goa government is, in the sense, they were supposed to be starting it sometime very soon under the nodal this of IPHB, but something similar to this from the perspective of every problem related to women, if we get some kind of vent, आमचे भितरले फ्रस्ट्रेशन घालपाक काडपाक आता ह्या टायपाचे सपोज म्हजो बॉयफ्रेंड आसा तो म्हाका त्रास करता म्हणजे सोंसू नजो कोणाक बट आय फॅमिली कडेन उलोवंक शकना बिकॉज तांचे कडेन झगडून हांव भायर सरून आयला फ्रेंड्सां बाकीच्या कडेन उलोवंक शकना बिकॉज म्हज्या मनशाक हांव वायट करून कोणा कडेन कशें दिवं सो देन ह्या टायपाची थर्ड पार्टी कायंड ऑफ अ बॉडी जी नॉन जजमेंटल जावन म्हजे आयकतली आणि म्हाका सजेस्ट करतली जावं फुडली वाट
आयकून फायदो कितें एनी
Of course, नी डायरेक्ट
it's not going to sort out the issue.
एक म्हणजे वेंट मेळटलो आणि डेफिनेटली सॉर्टिंग आउटाक म्हणजे काउन्सिलिंगाची जेन्ना आसता तेन्ना ओके एट वन पर्टिक्युलर पॉइंट नाव दिस इज गोइंग बियॉन्ड कंट्रोल गो अहेड अँड मीट द ऑथॉरिटीज अँड दीज आर द ऑथॉरिटीज जे वन स्टॉप सेंटर फॉर एक्झाम्पल पण आमच्याकडे वन स्टॉप सेंटर नॉर्थ गोवान आसा तुमकां खबर आसा फ्रॉम 2015
is in
yeah,
charge
so
of it.
2015.
Okay,
one stop
Since 2015.
It's at the Goa Medical College.
या टायपाच्यो फॅसिलिटीज आसा त्यो बायलां पर्यंत पावपाक जाय न्ही सो दॅट दे कॅन त्या हात म्हणजे फुडें करतली बाबा म्हाका मदत करा म्हणून
This is something that people should talk about so that it comes out in the money. Yeah, ma'am.
So as you said and all said that we can call 1091, but instead we call any police and police comes at home, then again the problem. Even the children's becomes against you. That why did you call the police in the house? So
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That 109 is not going to help.
Yes, and if we call 100 also when police come.
100
Yeah, one house, it had already happened. She called the police because she could not do anything. So at last she has to call the police, and she called the police. And she, it was about after 1 o'clock.
Night.
Night after 1 o'clock. She called the police because the husband was not giving her to sleep and many things. So she called the police. Police came and everybody was against that lady. The mother-in-law, then children, everybody, because she called the police. So they got insulted because neighbors came to know that police came in the house. Lozali. So much, and the lady has to suffer. Some ladies, the other ladies has to suffer because of the children. Because children are small. If she go out or she go against the husband because harassing too much, she can't bear it. She can't do anything because the children are very small. If she goes out, then who will look after the children? He will not allow children. And as you said, the financially support. If the lady is financially, she's financially good, then this type of problem will be rare, I think, less here.
I think it's more that mindset.
On this point, this is basically my point. Basically, see, now you call the police. First of all, police are not trained for this. They don't know how to investigate also. I'm like on record. Basically, they know their bandapust and what their boss is saying. They don't know how to talk also. First one thing. Police, you need specialized police with body cams and all that, especially for this.
Pink forces and yamso.
All are
driver is man. He's not a lady.
But the ladies
and they use it
in ideal situation.
You
need sensitive people.
For that actually the law had provided this concept of protection officers because they in fact when the whole
they're not supposed to go with uniform and
and it was said not the police, in fact videos in here it was supposed to be BDO
protection officers.
Therefore we wanted full time. We did not want government because BDO is not working on a Saturday and Sunday. That's true. So
I think
that way they've killed the act in the sense by the most important functionary of that act should have been protection officer. A woman could call a helpline, independent and Saturday, Sunday, because how can you say BDOs
Saturday, Sunday?
So, it's like this is what would have obviated the calling of the police.
Yeah, and the cops they'll come with the jeep and then 2-3 guys will come in the night, whatever. So, but you will be surprised at the calls that even I get in the night about these things happening in so many. I don't know how they get but now at least I've reduced 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. calls used to come. So yeah, that means basically the system, the society has failed.
Yeah.
The system
Yeah.
has failed, the authorities have failed. If people
Both
start
have failed,
reaching
yeah.
out to this level, so this is something that
I think at
some
both
solution, I
levels,
don't know what
yeah.
the solution, something
But also
that-
I'm saying, see, as per that act, I'm not saying it's the best, but one is a protection officers could have immediately come to the spot. The second, as Ma'am Sangeeta was saying also, they need an outlet, they need someone to talk to, and it would have helped if there were counseling centers and service as provided under the act. If there were halfway homes as provided under the act. There are no homes, there are no counselors, there is no protection officers. So like all these things which are provided to make it work to protect a woman under domestic violence is not there. So therefore, then how do you expect? Whenever you go to the police, of course, let's say Pink Force and those people are there,
Yeah,
but
they
again,
are,
to
They're
the
limited,
extent,
very
yes.
One stop center, by definition, medical, legal, psychological counseling.
You know about this one-stop crisis center.
In
I was
Margao.
interacting.
Yeah, Margao, there is
She's
one.
there.
Yeah, no, but what is happening, this one-stop crisis center is supposed to be supported by the government funding. And I was interacting with both these centers. They have not been paid the money. So they are there, but like monthly they're supposed to get the money you need for your staff, you need for your functioning. Money has not been sanctioned. I was talking to the commissioner, the chairperson of the Children's Commission. There the money was pending. So I spoke to someone from the
And he
finance
did not have
department.
any- He was grumbling, he did not have
Salary,
chairs.
yeah.
He was so
basic.
See, but if now
So also the BDOs, or the
BDOs, protection
officers,
officers
asking us
is
not even a
not there.
cupboard to keep the files of the women. He says, where no Xeroxing machine. So they're telling that woman victim who's come crying there, go out, bring all the
make
Xerox
7 copies and come.
Okay, now we are aware of this problem because this is not something new. But what I'm asking you all now, you all have been in this line for a very long time, both
Yeah.
on the legal side and the society side. तुम्ही आसात इथून, you know, you all are actually there. What are the solutions? What can be done to push to ensure? See, don't be under any misapprehensions. No authorities are going to help unless you push. It's like a gadi, no petrol. You have to push it. Then first inertia is there, then momentum is there. So what is the solution from your side? From various, you all are there in various.
What we have
fields and
seen
including-
is the authorities and the
No,
government
forget
will
about
work.
what is the solution from your side? What should you all do so that authorities listen to you?
It's only when they know that it is going to affect them politically, that's the time the government works. I've seen that now if there is a particular case, okay, and it will snowball into, my prospects of losing an election, then only they will work. You've seen the case of wrestlers. Now those women, from January they have been sitting on protests, okay, and the government has not done anything. Okay, the FIR, they had to go up to the Supreme Court to get an FIR lodged. So when the legal system says when somebody reports a crime, you have to lodge a complaint, and especially when it comes to POCSO, when it is a case of minor, case should have been registered and the person should have been arrested. There should have been quick investigation. So now you see we've reached May and still no action has come. And now when the CUPs and those farmers union and people have started gathering, and when political parties have started supporting, that's the time the government is reacting. So it means that if it is going to affect my power seat,
Fair
then
enough.
only I'm going to
I
act.
think that we know.
Huh.
What I'm saying is, how does society and like all other representatives of society, whether it is the legal profession, judiciary, or NGOs? Yeah, Sangeeta, you were saying.
No, what I'm saying is, see,
How is important?
Savitribai Phule started giving us education, women, and from that time onwards, many different kinds of programs, वेगवेगळ्या भशेचे झाल्या.
You're talking about awareness.
for women empowerment. वेगवेगळे झाल्या,
झाल्या.
वेगवेगळ्या लेवलांचेर झाल्या. फॉर एक्झाम्पल आमचे कडेन आता जेंडर बजेटिंग ह्या हाका कितले 503.9 crore वुमन एंड चायल्डाच्या एम्पावरमेंटाक लागून बी दवरले वॉट एवर. सो त्या टायपाचे डिफरंट फॉर्मेटांनी ते एम्पावरमेंट करता. पूण दादल्याच्या एम्पावरमेंटाचे कितें टू डील विथ ऑर टू इंटरॅक्ट विथ एन एम्पावर्ड वुमन. तो कितें करता दादलो
And to change his mindset.
to change his mindset. दादलो त्या आदले टायपाच्याच बायले कडेन अजूनय नॉन एम्पावर्ड बायले कडेन कसो वागता तसोच वागत आयला आणि बायल एम्पावर्ड बायल आसा. सो समवेअर एफर्ट्स हॅव टू बी पुट इन टू एम्पावर दिस मॅन टू इंटरॅक्ट विथ, डील विथ and deal with
Educate, not empower. Educate them.
educate, empower to think properly,
Re-educate.
educate,
Yes.
to interact with a woman who is empowered and
And
who
going to
is
stand
a
up for
human
her
being
rights. Going to stand
than
up
just a woman.
stand up
And
for
make
her.
them aware of the rights of women, and they have to respect the rights of these women.
Because still now when you
Yeah,
have
what I was
this,
still
Yeah.
thinking that we can start a subject like in the school from starting early for the children to put in their mind, because in every houses they it's everywhere. No, we want first son, daughter second. So like that, if we
Some of us are not like that, but anyway.
yes,
Since that you want to continue.
So that's what I was saying.
Something has come in. Okay, I was today. I just
Okay, this something I'll tell you how this something came in. Little bit of a history thing. See what happens when today it is changing, but earlier, especially in like not so much in Catholics, but in Hindus, you have X name. The minute you go, you change the name. Why would now I have a family X. Now I want my family to go forward. Now if the daughter said no, I'm going to remain, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to take my family legacy forward, then things would change. It is
I
all
think we
a
all
matter
have
of
kept our
legacy.
names. Caroline Colasso, Rashida Muzawar, Sabina Martins, all ours
by default.
Yours is by default. So all four of us have
But-
kept our
yeah,
name.
correct. But that is even my wife has not changed.
Changed
her,
her
yeah.
name,
But the point is that for fathers, there's no guarantee. Like for example, if they, okay fine, no, I'm going to continue this family. See, people are whatever it is. I'm not saying it is wrong, right, X, Y, Z, but everybody would want their family not to end there, no.
No, this
that's
boy
the reason.
preference, I think this has
Point of
changed.
time.
In fact,
So,
it's
yeah.
very bad. I think the statistics you were mentioning
about the statistics.
So,
Some of the statistics.
Yeah.
So,
Which area?
economic survey of Goa,
uh.
okay, which was presented. This is for 23-24, which was presented in the state
Assembly.
legislative assembly this time during the budget. It talks about a very very skewed kind of a sex ratio.
Goa also.
In Goa, overall sex ratio is 947. That is fair enough. Okay, 947 male per 1,000 female. That's
But I
fair
think
enough.
No, 1,000 male.
Per 1,000 male,
947
Kerala's higher, I think.
Yeah, but then whatever. But on an average, national average wise, this is okay. But the same economic survey talks about 250 girls, 250 women per 1,000 men in Dharbandar.
Is that correct, or is that the?
I just checked here.
Yeah, this is the official
for the
document. The official document
that
presented on the
sounds-
floor of the
that
house.
sounds a little-
I just
then
checked
the
again
second
on
thing is-
mobile,
The
yeah.
second thing is Padme again, but Padme, this has been a trend
Yeah,
all
trend,
throughout.
trend.
647 women per 1,000 men,
Which is low,
and
Which is very
which is
low.
very low, and which has consistently been low for the past several years. Sattari to 776 women, but this is at the local level statistics. Okay, but National Family Health Survey, which was the last survey, after that no survey has been done, of 1921. It talks about in the age between 0 to 6 years, Goa has the worst sex ratio between 0 to 6 years of 774 girl children for per every 1,000 boys.
Like
So
Haryana.
basically, the
Yeah.
whole world, the rest of India is sudrifying, but we are getting.
We are going back.
So when she's saying that boys zai, chede zai, this is the manifestation.
Okay,
in
we
terms of
have
statistics.
run out of time in this segment, but this is a thing that we will continue in the next segment because this is basically society. Basically now you've reached society, not individual cases. So this we can discuss, especially with the restless thing. So thanks Sabina, thanks Sangeeta, thanks ma'am, thanks advocate. It's been interesting, but I don't know, some solutions hopefully it has to be found out, because I believe it's a cliched statement, no doubt. Like suppose if you educate a man, he's going to make some money and like, okay, whatever, big house, big car. But if you educate the woman, you educate the family, the kids and all, most of the men are not involved with the kids. So the society keeps on either getting better or worse. We'll see with the figures later on. I know the family name and all that. I know the various things about all this. So this is sad. But I don't know if the hope is lost as such. The very fact that we are discussing these issues and media is covering so many of these things is a good sign, I would like to say, because in India we have this, and in Goa especially, we have this thing, we have this habit of dumping everything under the carpet. Now the carpet it's coming out, which is a good sign, I feel. So let's see. Anyway, we'll see you on the other side of this way. Keep watching Goa 365.